Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of this special series of podcasts. My name is Lucy, and today I'm here with Kelly Canby. She is an internationally published illustrator and author who has written The Whole Story, Rodney, and
Hey,
Little
nice.
Lights. Oh, they're all there. And you have also won a ton of awards.
I've won one major award, but I've been shortlisted for a ton of awards, or notables.
I see
yeah.
that as one in my eyes.
Me too, right? Let's just say I've won a ton of awards, yeah.
So how are you?
I'm good, thank you, yes.
So we're going to start off with a little bit of a quick fire round to
Okay.
say what first comes to your mind, this or
Okay.
that. So smart or casual,
Casual,
fiction or non-fiction,
non-fiction,
reading or writing,
writing,
left or right,
right,
TV shows or movies,
movies,
night or day,
day,
sunset or sunrise,
sunset,
rain or shine,
shine,
invisibility or flight,
flight,
cafe or restaurant,
restaurant,
sweet or savoury,
savoury,
coffee or tea.
tea.
Ooh, you're the first author that has ever said tea.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I drink probably one coffee a month.
I don't drink coffee at all.
It has to. I don't drink instant coffee. I don't drink any coffee someone's made from home. But I live in an area where there's some really nice cafes, so occasionally I'll go down and
Once
grab.
a month.
If I'm in the
Right
mood,
about.
and it's an almond latte with almond milk. But I drink a lot of tea. Like I go through a pack of tea bags.
What's your favourite type of tea?
Just English breakfast.
English. That's
Yeah.
what my mum loves.
Yeah.
I need to get into tea. I'm English and I feel like it's a crime to not like tea. And every time I'm like, I'm gonna have a tea, I'm gonna have tea, and then I have it, I'm like, I don't like it.
Oh, you don't like it?
No.
Oh, maybe
One
it's-
day.
One day. Yeah, I do have a cupboard full of teas. I've got I had to throw a bunch out recently. I've got like 50 odd kinds of teas, but yeah.
So, this is a question I love to ask everyone. When you begin a book, what do you start with? A concept, character, place, thing, or something completely different?
I start with a concept. I don't know if you've read these books, but they all have an idea.
Yeah.
I like to take something and flip it on its head, and so the whole story is about a boy who picks up a hole and puts it in his pocket.
Yeah.
And so it was the idea of like, okay, so let's say there's a hole, things go in it, but what if you can pick it up? So it has to start with an idea, like a concept, and then I go from that. Yeah.
So it's like something that's a bit different that you want to put in a picture book or a story.
Yeah. And I like the reader to go, gee, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Or like suspend reality for a little while and go, you can't do that. But what if you could?
Yeah.
What if you could?
And it's amazing because you can do that with stories and you can do that with picture books and illustrations.
Yeah, yeah. And so like with Rodney, that's about perspective. So the concept there was taking something small and putting it into a big area, and then taking it and putting it into a small area. So
Yeah.
playing with perspective and size. Yes, there's got to be that, something I can play with first.
Yeah. And another one I like to ask everyone, when you write, do you have a whole idea in mind, or do you start with a little thing and just let it grow?
I start with a little thing, and I let it grow, and then I chop it down.
Yeah.
And then I let it grow again, and I chop it down until it grows just right. Yeah.
Like editing and refining.
Yeah. I mean, some of these books have gone through, I think the whole story went through like 20-something drafts. And then I sent it out to publishers, and it came back, got rejected by a whole bunch overseas. And then I changed the ending. The ending was completely wrong.
Yeah.
I changed the ending, and then it got picked up straight away. So it's always
Coming back
a work
and
in
looking
progress.
at it, yeah.
Yeah.
And quite a simple one. How did you get into illustration? Because your illustrations are beautiful. Like, I love your art style so
Thank
much.
you. Well, officially I did illustration at uni, so that was my minor. My major was design, graphic design, but I've just drawn forever. I mean, if you're an artist, you've done it since you were, you know. My earliest memories of sitting there drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so art and drawing's always been a thing. When I went to university, I did design and illustration. At that time, no one really talked about illustrating children's books. You did illustration for advertising agencies, and I didn't want to be an advertising illustrator, so I went into graphic design and did that for a long time. And then when I had my son, I was like, oh, what is these picture books?
Yeah.
I want to make them.
Let's do that.
Yeah. And it wasn't until so he's 11 now. It wasn't until then that I went, why have I not been doing picture books my whole life?
Was it kind of like a thing you found and you were like, this is it?
Yes.
When you
I picked up Oliver Jeffers was the first one I picked
love him
up.
so much.
Yeah. And it was sort of at a time, I think, when picture books were changing and becoming more of an art form.
Yeah.
And I picked up one of his books and I went, I've got to do this. And then when I started, there's nothing else I want to do now. That's it. Yeah. And
last of all, can you tell us about any projects you are currently working on or things that might be coming up?
I'm in a weird spot in that I'm writing. So Little Light was my last book, and that came out last year. And so I'm in the process of writing whatever the next picture book is, and I'm trying to work with the concept of time. And playing with time and
twist that
and puns and how to make that quite clever. It's just been harder than I thought. It's taken me I've been doing it for
time is a big topic to tackle.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of time. But I'm also working on, I'm illustrating a history book for kids. That's a client in California actually. And it's like 165 illustrations. So I'm head down drawing that. And then, do you know Jacqueline Moriarty's series? So I've illustrated. Yeah.
Read all of those.
She's just finished the 4th, and I'm about to start illustrating that in about 2 months.
I'm so excited. Like fangirl.
I'll tell her that.
Yeah.
So that's all coming. That'll be this year. By the time I finished all that, the year will be over. And but I don't have any of my own books coming out at the moment.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Like nearish future.
But I had this thing where I felt like I had to have a book every year. So every one of these has been every year. And then my publisher said to me, it's like, you don't have to have a book
it's
every
not
year.
part of the contract.
Because I was forcing it. I was like, it's another year. I've got to get another book out.
Yeah.
And she was like, you don't have to. Just take your time. It can be 2 years. It can be whatever. And I think when I stopped and learnt that, I was like, all right, okay. I don't have to force the book. When it comes, it comes.
And then you can take more time to really refine it and make it good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Shortest podcast ever, but fun.
And thank you so much for watching this episode of the Red Lucy podcast, everyone. And thank you, Kelly, for joining me.
You're welcome.
And we're here at the Between the Lines Festival, run by Dimmox Busselton. Such an amazing experience hearing you and all the other wonderful authors talk.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already, come down to the Family Day, which is tomorrow on Saturday.
Yes, I'm not doing anything in it, but lots of other people are. Kylie Howarth and...
she's fantastic.
Yeah.
So if you have watched this video and you like it, make sure to give us a like on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and share. Goodbye and keep reading.